So the fourth AI Global Summit for Africa enters its second day today in Rwanda, kicking off the grand summit of several hundreds of delegates around the world on Thursday. In Rwanda, where African leaders, including the host president Paul Kagame and his Togolese counterpart Farouk Gnassingbe. Let's take a listen.
Africa wouldn't be able to challenge with major powers on the various innovation spectrum of AI because our resources are pretty much limited. Our technological advancement is modest, and in order to have ambition in Africa is not to try to do everything, but is to be able to select what we want to do. That's why we need to identify different areas where our needs are more urgent. Our weaknesses are more structure-based, but also areas where our skills are multiple and our reservations are strategic in order to create a leverage. I think of 2 or 3 key sectors of our development strategies: health, education, and agriculture. This is where, as far as I'm concerned, progress relating to AI meet our most concrete realities. On that note, I believe that Africa can become a land of innovation for itself and for the world. And this leads me to my third point. From now on, we need to protect the strategic assets of our continent. Africa has precious resources for the development of artificial intelligence. Africa has a dynamic youth, and we have a genomic, cultural, and linguistic data with an exceptional diversity and critical and rare natural resources. Those assets will be searched for. That is why we need to protect them and to value them. We know that temptation for other people will be immense in order to explore those researches without ethics and inclusion. And to avoid this, our data should be better collected, better structured, and valued and protected as well. We need to say it clearly. Today, Africa is a dead angle of global data. Africa data should contribute to the training of global models to avoid unnecessary exploitation. Our youth should benefit from massive funding and training in order to access global work market, which keeps growing at a fast pace. Our natural resources will be necessary in future decades in order to build, to power, or to refresh AI infrastructures in the entire globe. Africa should not give their rare resources, their water, their wind, and its land, of course, is sun without equitable benefits. For all those reasons, we need to build a digital, realistic, and targeted sovereignty. A technological divide is a threat, and our responsibility is to anticipate. Today, AI modules, infrastructures, and research are being dominated by a number of foreign and Western stakeholders. I believe that Africa shouldn't be depending on foreign platforms. We need to build our own digital sovereignty, and this should be based on 3 pillars: our data, our infrastructures, and our standards. This is not about just building our own AI models from end to end, but to have intellectual choices by adapting open models in energy and meeting our realities. We should also advocate for an international equitable framework and demand a position in global governance. Let us not be naive. This position will not be given to us. We need to conquer it. We need to build it together with consistency and strategy.
Artificial intelligence is driving some of the most groundbreaking innovations of our time and accelerating the pace of digital transformation. Across industries, the benefits of artificial intelligence are very evident. More productivity, better informed decision-making, and reduced human error. However, it's unfortunate that the rise of this new technology is being overshadowed by geopolitical competition. For now, technological development is concentrated in a few countries. Africa cannot afford to be left behind, once again playing catch-up. We have to adapt, cooperate, and compete because it is in our best interest to do so. That's why we are here. In this regard, I want to thank the African Union, Smart Africa, and ITU for championing the creation of the Africa AI Council. The potential for innovation and creativity on our continent is immense. That is already a comparative advantage which artificial intelligence can multiply. Right now, our strategy should be to go back to the drawing board and build a stronger foundation for connectivity. Allow me to mention 3 areas that we need to prioritize for investment. Number 1 is digital infrastructure. Without reliable high-speed internet and power supply, artificial intelligence cannot be deployed. Number 2 is building our workforce to meet the demands of the labor market. The bottom line is that Africa needs its own data scientists, engineers, and cybersecurity experts. Actually, Africa has them. In Rwanda, we have established several centers of excellence to equip our young people with the skills to perform these jobs. Our next generation must be empowered. Africans will soon represent the majority of the growth in the global workforce. Number 3 is fast-tracking our continental integration. This will be crucial to harmonize Africa's AI governance frameworks and come together to accelerate resource mobilization. When you talk to entrepreneurs, one thing they will tell you is how difficult it is for them to scale their products and innovations. Africa's regulatory framework Africa's regulatory fragmentation is a big reason for this. As we speak, there is still a lot of uncertainty surrounding artificial intelligence, especially regarding privacy and safety. But one thing is certain. Technology is supposed to be a force for good, and we have a responsibility to use it accordingly. I'm confident we can work together to make this possible. I think if we work together, even in what was stated as geopolitics, diplomacy, politics, and so on and so forth, we may drive AI to serve us well and not allow AI to get involved or drive our politics and our diplomacy and cooperation.
That was the opening sequence of the Global AI Summit in Rwanda. Now,